3 suspects, all family members from Stevens County on the run for several weeks, have been captured now in Arizona. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. Brenda Rasmussen and her 2 sons, Danny and Andrew Jones, are accused of involvement in the murder of Brenda's husband, Jerry Rasmussen. Kyle Simchuk is in Stevens County tonight with the details on this case and this most recent arrest. Kyle, what can you tell us at this hour?
Well, the mom and 2 sons were arrested more than 1,000 miles away near Flagstaff, Arizona. The Stevens County Sheriff's Office believe they were involved in the murder and helped hide the body. Now, Brenda Rasmussen told detectives her husband left their house on his motorcycle September 7th. She reported him missing on the 27th. Detectives say Brenda and her sons were cooperative at first, but appeared nervous when asked about where Jerry was. The 3 stopped talking with the sheriff's office on October 1st and disappeared. In November, detectives brought human remain detection dogs to the property, and they hit on a newly installed shed. On December 1st, the sheriff's office brought in heavy equipment and moved the shed so they could start digging. About 6 feet down, they found the body of Jerry Rasmussen. The medical examiner found he had a gunshot wound to the head. Rasmussen had been buried there for nearly 3 months. So U.S. Marshals tracked the mom and 2 sons to an area near Flagstaff, Arizona. They'll eventually be extradited back to Stevens County. And court documents also show that Brenda's father is also wanted. Reporting in Stevens County, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much. 4 years ago, Caleb Sharp opened fire on his classmates at Freeman High School. He killed 1 student and wounded 3 others. Sharp has since pleaded guilty to murder, and for the last 2 weeks, the Freeman community has shared their victim impact statements as part of his sentencing. Today, we heard from the bus driver who took the shooter to school that morning. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley shares what she had to say. Amanda?
We know from court documents the school shooter brought several guns with him in a golf bag on the bus to school. In a statement today, the driver of that bus told the judge September 13th, 2017 is a day she will never forget. Now, she says in the weeks, days, and months following the shooting, Freeman families seem to doubt her ability to keep their students safe. Now, the shooter rode her bus the day of the shooting, but she was unaware of his plans. That morning, she asked him to store his golf bag in the under compartment of the bus, not knowing what was in the bag. She told the judge after the shooting she felt shunned by Freeman parents. In a statement read by a victim's advocate, the bus driver explained how difficult this was for her.
Had I really been reduced to being referred to as that bus driver? Did these parents really think I would in any way jeopardize their children's safety? I wanted to stand up in that gym and tell every single one of the parents, community members, that I did my job that day. I safely picked up and delivered their children to school. I patiently enforced the rules that morning in making him put his bag in the cargo compartment under the bus.
She previously testified in court for the shooter's declination hearing. That hearing determined he would be tried as an adult. She told the judge when she took the stand that day and saw the shooter's expressionless face, it sent waves of hot anger through her veins. Now, we are nearing the end of hearing victim impact statements from the Freeman community. Court will resume for a final day of statements tomorrow morning. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you very much. Well, you may notice the Brown Street Railroad underpass looks a bit different now. It's an effort to reduce the number of people camping there and blocking pedestrian traffic. The city installed fencing on the sidewalk as a health and safety measure.
Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward says it will help keep those sidewalks clean and clear, but some people worry the fencing creates another problem. So KREM 2's Janelle Finch is live in the newsroom tonight with more on what people who use that viaduct are saying. Hi, Janelle.
Hi guys. Residents I spoke to say the fence limits trash and waste in the area. This is the city's first fence, and Mayor Woodward says if the results are successful, the city could see more fencing. Residents say the Brown Street Viaduct was trashed almost daily.
There was always people sleeping there or doing their drugs.
The city solution? A 36-inch wide fence.
Trashy, people would pee, it stunk all the time. You see people down there shooting needles, doing meth.
The installation comes on the heels of a survey where downtown business and property owners say they're facing increased security challenges that are affecting the safety of their employees and customers. Mayor Woodward says the fence will decrease how often crews need to go out and clean up.
We thought that fencing would make it easier for us to be able to keep it clean, but also preserve the pedestrian ability under that viaduct.
According to Mayor Woodward, the fencing is ADA compliant. At the current width, the fence should allow people in wheelchairs to pass, but the bolts in the ground present a challenge.
The way they got it bolted down, them plates, it's cutting holes in my tire. It's hard to get through, and you only got it each on each side, and if I got stuff hanging up on the side, it stops me.
Woodward says the viaduct serves all of Spokane, and the community should focus on getting those who sleep there and on the streets into shelters.
When we have space for people in our shelters, as a community, we shouldn't want them to have to sleep on the street or under viaducts. We need to make an effort to get them to shelters and the services that we have.
A city press release says a search is underway for a temporary location for shelter needs related to weather, smoke, and other considerations. Woodward says there are several options for those looking for shelters that they can access. The city says before this installation, they added more co-ed shelter spaces, more space for women and families, a shelter for young adults, and extended contracts on seasonal shelters. Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
All right, Janelle, thank you. Oregon and California have now announced those mask mandates are coming to an end. Today, Governor Jay Inslee in Washington, though, said the state will follow suit, but on its own timeline.
We are not going to be stampeded by any political force. We will not be stampeded with other states, what they might do. We are going to make decisions for the public health of Washingtonians based on the science here in our state. And so the day is coming fairly soon when we do not have a broad mask mandate for indoor public spaces or for our schools. And we're going to do that by following the science to make the right decision.
Governor Inslee said he is optimistic that COVID cases in the state will continue to decline. He announced today the state's outdoor mask mandate will end on February 18th. That mandate has applied to outdoor events of 500 people or more. He will have an update, he says, on the indoor mask mandate next week.
The Richland Red Cross is seeing a surge of people wanting to donate blood following Monday's deadly grocery store shooting. Yesterday, police arrested 39-year-old Aaron Kelly after he opened fire inside that Fred Meyer, according to police. One victim was killed at the scene. The other, rushed to the hospital, is still in critical condition. West Benton fire crews say after that man's first life-saving surgery, the local blood bank ran out of compatible blood and had to bring some in from Spokane. But there has since been a flood of people wanting to donate. Samuel Cho is one of them. His girlfriend used to work with the surviving victim.
He says that he's like the greatest, nicest guy in the building at Fred Meyer. She used to work with him, and he really needs the help right now, so it's the least I can do.
Police say there is no evidence that Kelly knew any of the men he shot. He is charged with murder now and attempted murder.
The U.S. Forest Service is warning hikers of a closure of the Hamby Saddle warming hut in the Nez Perce Clearwater National Forest. The hut actually collapsed over the weekend. It's located on Forest Service Road 464. Staff say they are investigating exactly what caused it. If it was the snow, perhaps. They're still trying to figure that out. As you can see, though, the snow load was pretty heavy on top of the roof. The last time that building was inspected was in 2017. No structural or deferred maintenance needs were noted at that time.
Causes a lot of blindness, kind of a disorientating feeling. You get this dazzle across the whole windscreen.
All right, taking a live look at SeaTac Airport right now, where 11 more flights reported being hit by lasers. That's on top of the 11 laser strikes on Monday. The incidents happened during the evening hours between 8 and 10 p.m. Each laser came within roughly a 3-mile radius of SeaTac. Several airlines were hit, with most of the strikes involving planes from Alaska and Horizon Airlines, which have the most flights departing and arriving. All 22 flights landed safely, but lasers are a safety issue in the cockpit and can cause damage to pilots' eyesight.
This camera system you see right here has a mapping program on it as well. And so when we point the camera somewhere in the cockpit, we can see what street, what address, everything that we're looking at. When we put that suspect on the camera, we were able to lead officers on the ground.
Well, people who shine lasers at aircrafts face fines of up to $11,000 per violation.
Well, it is only February, but it is certainly starting to feel like spring outside, isn't it? We want to head over to Tom Sherry right now for a look at if things are going to stay this way or if we're going to kind of head back into winter for a while.
Well, we might get a random shower across parts of northeastern Washington and North Idaho tomorrow, but for most of us, I think we're going to see dry weather and continued mild weather. Cloudy skies right now, 42 degrees, the current temperature. Look for increasing clouds as the evening progresses. Overnight low should drop down to about 32. There you can see the cloud cover kind of moving to the south, so that's why we think that will actually by tomorrow get some of the clearing and becoming partly cloudy actually overnight tonight with a low of 32. Tomorrow's high, again, well above the average of 38. We'll shoot for a daytime high of 47. And for the weekend, mostly dry, partly cloudy Saturday and Sunday. We are going to see some showers develop on Monday. More on that with your 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
When you grow quickly, sometimes it does present financial challenges as well.
As the city of Spokane booms, we asked how they plan for population growth in their budget. Stay with us. We're back after a quick break.